Thank you very much to John, who's joining us from the Public Affairs and Communications Committee this morning to talk more about his role on that committee and what that entails. John, I was wondering whether you could tell me how long you've been on the Public Affairs and Comms Committee and what your highlights have been from your time.
Okay. Now that's a good question. I think it's certainly a number of years because I got onto that committee really as in my role as chair of the small animal subcommittee. So it must be more than 5 years. In terms of role, I've been a member, but I've also acted as chair for a period of time as well, and vice chair. I regularly attend the meetings. We discuss a number of the projects that are ongoing and make suggestions towards that, and I'm a regular attendee at NOAA events as well. So certainly I've very much enjoyed that period of engagement really, and find it a very useful exercise, both in terms of my contacts with other external companies and also understanding what impact we can have in the wider industry and with our other stakeholders, I guess. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's very interesting. Would you say that the sort of time that you spent on the committee has been useful to your professional development?
Definitely. I think it enables you to see the issues that you face every day in your job in sometimes a different light, and gives you ability to influence things in a positive way at a different level. I mean, we're certainly involved with other industry bodies, other stakeholders, government, and are able to it's a very pivotal committee, I think, really, because it's really the face of the industry for the public and for other industry members. So I think you can really get a sense of the sort of things you could do which you could never really do in your day-to-day role. So I think it's helped my personal image and career, because I've been in the industry a long time, but actually through the NOAA committees that I'm members of, I'm known quite well now, and often if people want to address a problem, then I'll know the people involved quite well and be able to directly speak to them, which is a great asset, I think.
Absolutely. What sort of time commitment does being a member of PAC take?
I think in the past we've had face-to-face meetings. These days it's a hybrid, which is quite a nice mix actually. It means that perhaps we don't have to travel down for meetings quite as much as we do. I think it's not an onerous time commitment. We do have regular monthly usually meetings, or every 6 weeks or so, and obviously there's the time commitment for the meetings themselves, and there's the time commitment to read the minutes and have a think through that, but beyond that, the events are actually, they give back. We do a summer event, we do other events that actually really help you. It's really CPD as well, help you actually engage on some of the issues that are coming along in the future. This year I think we're talking about AI, and I'm already seeing the impact of that on our daily lives. So I think I think it's a very worthwhile and actually fairly minimal time commitment, if I'm honest.
Absolutely. You mentioned sort of the upcoming NOAA event where we're focusing on AI and animal health. I wondered whether you would like to speak about some of the other things that the Commons Committee is working on, sort of campaigns, events, that.
Yeah. So I think there's often topical things. A few years ago it was Brexit, of course. Now we're looking at a number of issues and topics that are coming up. For example, parasiticides in small animal use, and NOAA's playing quite a pivotal role for the industry in trying to address people's concerns and trying to ensure that the products are used responsibly. The Pause to Protect campaign is one campaign that we've worked on recently, which is obviously looking to make sure that people read the label of the products that they use, to make sure that they're both efficacious and also safe for the pet owner, the user, and the environment as well. So I think that's an example of a campaign that is really trying to get that responsible use message out there. There's another campaign, and that's an ongoing campaign that one mentioned there. There's also Use It Right, Treat Them Right, that's happening now as well. And we're looking at ways of using social media well to get that message to all the stakeholders, really, not only industry insiders, but also obviously those that are using the medicines as well. So some good examples of some campaigns. And then, of course, part of it also is our engagement with bodies, be they veterinary corporates, or perhaps the other sort of bodies like RUMA, for example, and many other committees, for example, to make sure that our messages are magnified. Charities is another good example where we can work together sometimes on areas of common interest. So I think that's a really great aspect of what our committee gets involved with.
Yeah, that's great. The final question, John. If you could describe your time on the Public Affairs and Commons Committee in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Interesting, engaging, and worthwhile. Yeah, how's that? Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, John, for your time today.
No problem at all.
I'm talking to Nora today, who is the chair of the NOAA Public Affairs and Communications Committee, and she's kindly agreed to tell us about her time on the committee and some of her highlights, and why she's enjoyed doing it, and what she's got out of it. So, Nora, I wondered if you could tell me a couple of the highlights that you have had working on the Public Affairs and Commons Committee, and perhaps explain some of the current campaigns that we're working on as well.
Thank you, Matthew. I've been on the Public Affairs and Communications Committee for almost 8 years now. During my ever since I started my career in Boehringer Ingelheim, it has brought me so much joy, and I have to say there are so many highlights. But I would say the ones that really stuck out with me is working with such a dynamic and enthused bunch of people representing the other member companies. I mean, the success of a committee relies on the people. The people make up the committee. And I think I've been so grateful that my committee members have been so passionate. They come to the meetings, contributing ideas. We have a really good dialogue and debate over some things. And yes, sometimes we may not agree on things, but we come to these meetings, to the committee meetings, wearing our industry hats so that we can contribute to the betterment of animal health and welfare. So that would be my main highlight.
Thank you. You've spoken about how you've been on the committee for 8 years. That's obviously quite a long time, but day to day and between meetings, what sort of time commitment does being a member of a NOAA committee require?
I think it varies. I didn't start off in the committee as a chair person. I think the commitment, that my time commitment became, I would say, more intense when I took up the chair position, because in the chair position, you are driving the agenda, you are being more involved in meetings such as attending some of the NOAA board meetings, you're shaping some of the discussions, contributing more in depth to some of the papers, and being, I would say, more forward planning in terms of what's in the horizon. You know, what are some of the topics and issues that could bring the industry into disrepute. So you're always horizon scanning. So from my perspective, I would say my time as chair required almost double the commitment that I had when I was a normal committee member. But I loved every minute of it, so and that's great.
Really glad to hear that. Thank you. So you've obviously spoken about what you've some of what you've brought to the committee. What, in terms of sort of professional development, do you think that you've got out of the committee?
One, I would say, behaving as a leader. I think if you're working in a company, you deliver for the company, right? So you're thinking about what's best for your company, and you're, you know, in the seat, you're in charge of communications. But when you sit in committees like the NOAA committee, you almost take that hat off, your company hat off, and you put on a different hat. And for me, that hat that I put on every time I go into a NOAA meeting is a very special hat, because I'm representing the industry. I'm thinking about what I'm saying, how I'm contributing for, like I said, the betterment of the entire industry. I'm also very conscious of the words and some of the decisions that I make, because then I'm deciding for the industry, for everyone else, not just for Boehringer. So that's one. The other thing that I find in terms of my professional development is the networking that I get. If I had not been on the NOAA committee, my network would be quite limited to communications people within my industry. But then on the NOAA committee, as you know, Matthew, they're not just communications people. They're also technical advisors, there's marketing people. So my network almost expanded beyond my usual communications industry. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is learning and watching everybody else. I mean, as an individual, I learn better when I'm observing people, or instead of just reading lots and lots of text. So I observe you, I observe Dawn, I also observe Donald, who are, you know, great mentors to have. So so that is my third opportunity, to learn from people in the industry who's had loads of much more years and years of industry experience. So yeah, so it's the learning for me.
I think that's probably true for the Secretariat as well, actually. Learning from all of you guys. Would you like to tell us about some of the upcoming work that the committee has planned, events, campaigns, that sort of thing?
Yeah, certainly. So our Use It Right, Treat Them Right campaign is still ongoing, and I think that's a fabulous campaign. It's a great campaign to educate in the next phase, to educate pet owners on responsible use of pet parasiticide. So that's one, and I'm really excited about that. And I think we're getting really good results on that campaign. There's a lot more work to do, as you know. There's a lot more scrutiny now in terms of the impact of pet parasiticide on the environment. I'm also excited about the party conferences that's coming up later this year, as well as this NOAA summer event next month. So gutted that I'm not going to be there, because I'm going to miss it due to my son's graduation. But that's another good networking opportunity. I think the topic that we have highlighted at the summer event on AI is really current. And I really hope that the participants that day will find that helpful.
Thank you. And one last question. NOAA PAC, 3 words to sum up.
Okay, okay, that's easy. People, knowledge, leader.
Thank you very much, Nora, for taking the time
pleasure.
to speak to us today. Thank you.
My pleasure.